Welcome on into the Fiesta Bowl wrap-up show. Jordan Spurgeon alongside Cody Cameron and Carrie Osa. We were your coverage team today as Penn State took down Boise State 31-14. And Cody, this was a game that maybe the score didn't quite do it justice. It was a little bit closer than what the final one was.
I thought Boise State came out guns blazing. Obviously they want to run the football, but Penn State did a really good job of their front seven tackling. And they talked about that all week. James Franklin said, hey, we have to tackle Ashton Jeanty. They thought he was the best player in college football this year, and they did that. But I got to give it to Boise State, Jordan. Like I said, I thought they played really well, especially later in that first half. They just didn't capitalize, especially in the red zone. 2 missed field goals, and they lost a turnover battle out here. And it's not a recipe to win games. Credit to Penn State. They did take advantage of their opportunities.
And for Penn State, too, this is your second time getting a chance to see them as well. Tyler Warren, the offensive MVP, 2 touchdowns in this one. It was pretty remarkable to see. What stood out to you?
Yeah, the cool thing, first and foremost, is both these teams have a little bit of history here in the Fiesta Bowl, being undefeated coming into this one. Penn State playing most recently 7 years ago. And talking about Ashton Jeanty, the star 7 years ago was Saquon Barkley, and they were talking about him this week and how Penn State was going to have to focus in on Ashton. Not really the star performance that maybe we thought. We saw the yardage, but not really the power from him. But Tyler Warren, man, if there was a star today on this field offensively, we got to give it to the tight end, and Penn State always loves their tight ends.
And they add on to their record 8 Fiesta Bowl victories. They are the Fiesta Bowl champions in all of history. They have done a phenomenal job coming to Arizona. I think they like the weather. Coach Franklin said he's hiked Camelback before. They get it.
You're forgetting the biggest star on the field today. That had to be Flavor Flav.
Oh,
and he was all with Penn State. So that helps, too, when you have that star power.
Yeah, Flavor Flav did all of it. You can catch that interview on X as well, but he is a big Penn State guy. Speaking of the Fiesta Bowl, and Cody, we'll start with you. I know you're very entrenched with this group. You've had a chance to play in their golfing events and things like that. This week and all the events leading up to it, what really stood out to you?
They do such a good job, Jordan. You're right. I mean, they've really done a great job of marketing. It's not just a game. They do so much philanthropy events and all the work, but the work they put in this week, it was so fun. So much community based with them. And then you look at everything they've done this week with their outreach events and really white glove service for all these teams. But for media too, we work so hard during the football season. We don't ask for anything. They do a great job of taking care of us as well and having an atmosphere here where we're allowed to do our jobs and have fun with it. So the game is just, for me, is just the cherry on top. And what an atmosphere. I mean, they had 2 awesome fan bases out here. Packed stands, exactly what Eric Moses that envisioned in this game was just a fun atmosphere, great football game. They got exactly that today.
Yeah, me and Milan were saying it before the game, doing some fan stuff. This is like the friendliest bowl game we've ever been at. Both fan bases so friendly, and all the people working for the Fiesta Bowl, security, everyone here at State Farm Stadium, they have been some of the kindest people at a big event where they're all stressed out. They were all kind, so I wanted to shout them out as well. The atmosphere.
I was going to say, what makes this so special, the Fiesta Bowl, is always the atmosphere and the fact that this is now such a meaningful game, and we're going to get that for years on end now with the college football playoff expanding. So I think that adds to just the tradition here, but I mean the energy in here. We've seen great events here, Super Bowl, we've seen March Madness here, but there's just something different about college football on this night, New Year's Eve, and yeah, the fans didn't disappoint. I was a little shocked to see a little bit more orange and blue, but maybe Penn State fans were waiting for that next ticket, I'm not sure. But still, they brought the energy as they always do. The tried and true of PSU was here for sure.
Yeah, I think those, especially balling on a budget, they were looking forward to Miami. A couple fans even said it, that, hey, Boise State might not belong here. They proved they did. They definitely belonged here. The score, like we said, didn't fully do it justice. Final thoughts, Cody, anything else you want to add on?
Just talking to a lot of the coaches throughout, not just Fiesta Bowl, but also the Rape Bowl during the media days, kind of turn our attention to high school football recruiting. And so much of this week and college football playoffs has been, hey, portal. Hey, there's so many schools, whether they say it publicly or not, they want to live and die in the portal. It's really cool to see Boise State's head football coach Spencer Danielson go against that and say, hey, the lifeblood of Boise State high school football recruiting. We want to build our program continuously with high school football recruiting. Kansas State's head football coach said the same thing. So being on the recruiting side, Jordan, we do so much, obviously, with the recruiting roundup and recruiting in the state of Arizona. It's really refreshing to hear these head coaches in a college football playoff game, the biggest stage in college football, go, we still want high school football athletes. Really refreshing to hear. And they also, on a couple interviews that we're going to share throughout our website, they kind of give a blueprint of going, hey, not just on-field stuff matters, but your leadership skills, how you are as a student in the classroom, how you are to your parents, your teammates, all the other things that, Claudia Collins does a great job talking about, you do a great job talking about, that stuff matters. So to hear those coaches say that in the media days for a college football playoff game, it's really, really cool.
All I got to add after that is that Arizona is made for football. We know it, talking about the high school talent here. We see them at the next level, but this is why it's such a good stage and such a great location, because this is what you get. You get a great game like this, great energy, get to see stars on this field, and it's pretty cool, but it's going to be exciting to see how this college football season ends, but good to see that Arizona had a spot and made its mark.
And final thoughts here as well. You mentioned some of the things the coaches said throughout the week. I loved learning more about Boise State, and even James Franklin saying, look at that program. They have bought in from the community, the leadership top down, contract extensions, everything. ASU playing tomorrow. We just saw Kenny Dillingham get his deal. We're seeing the pieces fall in line for them to be similar as far as the buy-in. So that's what's cool about these 12-team college football playoffs. Yes, not all 12 teams are going to be quote-unquote competitive with the top 3 teams, but they are showing you a blueprint to be a sustained, successful program, and getting to see that here at the Fiesta Bowl. You can't beat it. So signing off here at the Fiesta Bowl, ending 2024, swinging on into 2025. I'm Jordan Spurgeon alongside Cody Cameron and Carrie Osip. We'll see you next time.